I just think we need to get a win, that taste of winning back. You know, it's frustrating when you lose to Kansas City. You come back and you know it's going to be a tough game in Baltimore, and then not finding out, you know, not having a quarterback out there. I think that's the frustrating part of everything. So I just think that the course of losing 3 games in a row, we just need to get back on the winning track. I think winning solves everything.
So there you hear Hines Ward talking about the team needing to get the losing taste out of their mouth after dropping 3 games now in a row, 6-5 overall going into the month of December. Hello everybody, I'm Justin LeBar here at the Steelers training facility on the south side. We have more comments coming up from players in just a moment, plus Pittsburgh Tribune Review columnist John Harris will be joining me as well. But let's talk about where the black and gold are. Lost 3 games in a row, most recently down in Baltimore. They lose in overtime, now going up against Oakland at home at Hines Field. Oakland, a team that's 3-8, but as the Steelers have shown with losses to teams such as Kansas City, no game is a for sure thing. Just for the record, a history lesson between the Raiders and the Steelers. Last time these two teams met, October 29th, 2006. Steelers lost that game 20-13. Roethlisberger had 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. And if you remember, that's the same season he had the motorcycle accident that took place earlier prior to the season and forced him out of some action with the concussions. So same thing going on right now in 2009, coming off a concussion that forced him to sit out this past Sunday's game in Baltimore. Dennis Dixon got the start, exceeded expectations, held his own pretty well despite throwing that interception in overtime. And we called up with some of the locker room here at the Southside training facility to talk about Dennis Dixon earning the respect of his teammates.
Dennis was unproven, and we really didn't know, and you really don't want to have your third-string quarterback going down to Baltimore. But Dennis shocked the world. He played his tail off. He won over a lot of guys in his locker room, and there will ever be any second guessing of what Dennis is going to do.
I'm proud of the way Dennis played. I think he came in, he was composed, and you know, he did what we all knew he could do. So yeah, I was proud of him for that.
People have been telling me that. I mean, it's a confidence booster as a young guy that I am and everything, and I take that to heart. And I'm gonna continue to do my thing and continue smiling in the process.
All right, so there you hear it. So Dennis Dixon going to keep doing everything with a smile on his face. John Harris, Pittsburgh Tribune Review columnist, joins me now. John, Dennis Dixon, a happy guy despite the loss. He's proven to himself and to his teammates that he can be an NFL player, or at least a role player. Has he earned your respect, and what are your thoughts after that game in Baltimore?
Just one game, but accorded himself very well. I mean, he ran the game plan. He had a big pick at the end that hurt, but he had a great touchdown run, a nice pass to Antonio Holmes for a touchdown. Earned his teammates' respect in the locker room. Hines Ward talked about one of the reasons for maybe a little bit of his unhappiness was going into that game with a third-string quarterback who was unproven. But Hines said earlier today that respect now is there from the players. He won them over. They trust him now.
Right, and we heard Hines talking about that just as John was saying. Do you think there's any opening, any potential for a new dynamic of this offense? Maybe putting Dixon, even if Ben's healthy this week, against Oakland, putting Dixon in there in like a wildcat formation or mixing it up. I mean, certainly I don't think it could hurt right now.
No, it's not this game. Somewhere down the line, I mean, Oakland may be a good time to try it. The Raiders are not an NFL juggernaut, and you may want to continue a little bit of what you had last week with Dennis. And there's never anything wrong with giving defenses something else to have to prepare for. If not this week, maybe down the line or even in the playoffs. Dennis Dixon, he's earned that opportunity maybe to get a couple snaps out there. And maybe try to reduce some of the physical wear and tear on Ben Roethlisberger.
Very good point, because I'm sure Roethlisberger, if he wasn't 100% going into that last Sunday's game, what's going to make him 100% going into this week's game against Oakland. All good points. John Harris, of course, going to have a column regarding Dennis Dixon. He's going to have an article going out this Friday, correct?
Yeah, I believe just talk a little bit about, some of the comments Mike Tomlin had about him when asked about the Wildcat. Dixon, talking a little bit about the opportunity he got, and his teammates talking about how he gained their trust and respect.
You're looking for that in your local edition of the Pittsburgh Tribune Review this Friday, and of course, all the coverage for the game will be in the this Sunday and Monday for the game against Oakland, a must-win for the black and gold. Here on the south side at the Steelers practice facility, for John Harris, I'm Justin LeBar.